with the internal elections with the UNC. It just proves we different, we real hard
And no, but here what I like about this, right?
Real hard.
But here what I like about it. To be, I understand your point and I understand a lot of people's point, but you have to understand it have a lot of little twists and turns in it, right? Now, I am not inside of the UNC, so I don't know. Mm-hmm. Now, Fuad was the one who went up against her. Fuad Khan. Mm-hmm. Probably he do have the support of the members.
And even he was going up half-hearted, Because remember, he wasn't going to take...
Well, I think...
He's not going to take the leadership of the party per se. He was leaving her to run as prime minister.
Right.
So you're leaving... Even if you are the leader of the party, once you leave her, you make it clear that, no, she is the one who's going to be... That's who people are going to be voting for, ultimately. Then you ain't change nothing. You ain't making no difference there.
But is it that he went with that in mind because he knew that if he pushed very hard, people are just...
Yes, which says something about the base of that party.
Right, but here's my spin on it. Because at the end of the day, if they really wanted to, they could have advised the advisors, not the members, the advisors, because you're going on that, and I think you should step aside and let somebody else.
Yeah.
But I think what they're playing for is that they want something that is familiar in a situation like what we're going to face in the next election. Meaning you're going to face Watson Duke in the mix. You're going to face probably, I don't think it's going to be significant, but we're just going to mention him, Gary Griffith, right? And then, well, of course, they're going up against PNM.
Listen, I don't think any of them going up against... I think all of them going to come together. I think Gary Griffith might remain away. Watson Duke and them will join.
Well, right. Once
thing looking like it could make sense and
no, but that's why I say I'm not saying that for them to compete against them.
Oh, okay.
I think what they wanted to make sure is that if the membership is comfortable with Mrs. Prasad Bissessa at the helm, we don't want to move her and put somebody who may not be comfortable with. If you understand what I'm saying. So
who may not be comfortable?
The membership of the party. Right. So that you want so at least if you're going to join, you're holding what you have already, and now it's just for whoever coming to bring what they could bring now.
Okay, that might be the thinking, but that to me again speaks to some sort of deficiency in the way that party is run, dog. Because let's be real again. You could put a monkey, dog. And once the monkeys have the right race, you're not upsetting anybody. They will weeping and and whatever, but nobody running and voting for the next side of the base I'm talking about. And the base is big.
But probably
what your problem is you can't reach outside of the base. Yeah, so that's all you should be concerned about.
Yeah, but you see, probably they don't want them to not go and vote for, not just not go and vote for the next side, but they want them to still come out. Because the thing is, we talking from the outside. I really don't know how they feel, the people there in their base, how they feel about Kamala Prasad Bissessa. Suppose they feel real dear to their heart about this person.
I do not feel that you could upset them so much by putting, and it doesn't, I'm not saying put some left field individual, obviously they had to meet the criteria for what that base like, right? But bring somebody new, somebody speaking differently, talking about different things, changing the way the politics is handled.
Nah,
person.
I don't think I could find that without the person being real left field.
I think they have plenty of them. They just don't bring them out. They don't bring them to the fore. Listen, I mean, even somebody like Khadija Amin, right? No, I'm not saying she would have made good leadership, but she's a person within that party that plays the stupid politics too. But she tends to focus, and she every time I've heard her in an interview, every time you see her conduct a press conference, yes, she had to play the stupid games, but she remains focused on issues, right? In a way that the politicians now are unable to. The leadership and the senior members of that party, they seem unable to do that right now. I think she does that. so you could find people like her, not her.
Right, because obviously your hair texture might be a bit not the best.
That mightn't be as, straight as they might like, right? So let's say but you find somebody who talks like that, conducts themselves like in that way, and I don't think you isolate your base so strongly that you risk problems in it. And even if right, you risk isolating some of your base, they gotta come back wrong. Because they will come around, because you're gonna lose the next one anyway, right? You're gonna lose the next one.
But I think that's not what they're playing for. I think they hoping to get the same 300,000 votes or whatever they get before.
And disenchanted and disenchanted PNM voters will come out.
No, I think but probably not to come out, or they want Watson or whoever whoever they could pull in the side. They're going to pick up the extra votes that they could pick up.
If you doing that, you what kind of strategy is that? Because who's to tell you, Watson? You can test in the waters in Trinidad. I don't know.
So you want them to implement a winning strategy that they never had.
This is the thing. As I said, so it says something about the membership of that party. If they cannot see by now that they just butting the head against the wall. And when he was asking Eddie there just now about whether they feel the NDP, there's just a couple sweat. The NDC getting now and the NNP go come back just now. I don't live in Grenada, so I don't know. But from how he was talking, I didn't feel it's as simple as that, because it seems like this squad is operating kind of like how NDP is the name of Watson party here, right?
That's not
National Democratic Party or something.
Yeah.
You're right, NDP. I think they are operating differently.
Not PDP.
PDP, right, right. This is People Democratic Party, right? Democrat, right. They are operating, I think, differently to how in Tobago. They are operating differently to how politics was handled prior to them. So like when Top was there, they're not behaving any way like how Top was behaving when they managed to topple Tobago. So this squad here might have a chance of not getting a Kobo sweat and the default party of the PNM just coming back in, because all you have to do is when you get your chance, just don't drop the ball. Talk. I mean, they delivered the budget the other day. I have never heard a budget delivered in the Tobago House of Assembly that has been praised as much as. No, I'll be fair, I didn't read it. I didn't listen to it. I'm not that interested, right? But from the comments you're hearing from people who I think are neutral commentators, they seem to understand that this thing take work, right? And you have to appear to be governing at least with some sense. And it's not just about doing what you want and then going and chucking some money in people, going and handing people jersey and getting people. Nah, it's not about that. You have to actually at least appear to govern. And I think they're handling it differently.
But
and what he was saying about,
I think with Farley Augustine, I think you'll get it from Farley.
Probably not the other guy.
Yeah.
Not the other guy. Yeah. The other guy, you'll get Mama Guy and Triple X. Probably. Yeah.
You understand? So I think that's what it is. But because, and the reason I ask him that is because you see what went on in Grenada, it was 13 years, one party, 5 years, and 9 years. And then they come again. And I mean, people, let's get tired of it. It really is a winning election, but real hard to maintain.
I differ. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. As I always say this, the PP would still be in power now if they didn't govern like they did. But that's what I'm saying. So the thing is, you could win the election, right? But it tends to get hard when you had to actually go in and do the work. You understand what I'm saying? I understand what you're saying, but I think it's not as hard as they make it out to be. They make it hard because they insist on not governing.
But the thing is, because Trinidad is a place of people with a lot of people without integrity,
right,
and a lot of incompetent people in high places.
Right.
So when they would talk all the nice thing, and then when they reach in power, they would drop the ball, and that's real happening now, boy.
Right. But I think the difference is, I think many of them go in without the intention.
Right. And you just always say that.
They don't have the intention of governing properly. What they have the intention of doing is managing PR. That's what they go to, especially that last squad when they got in from 2010 to 2015. They had no intention of governing properly, and all they were focused on was mama guying people. So have 1 million rally every minute and constantly putting out messages out there and going in communities and mama guying people and looking to buy support, and that is what they were out there looking to do. They had zero intentions of governing with any sort of I want to say integrity or even competence. It was never about that. They just felt they could do whatever they want. And once they buy off people, they get contract here and think they go just,
and build things here, build things here.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I am not saying that the other side is, the epitome of competence and they're wonderful and, good governance comes from them either. But I'm just saying, I think if you look, for instance, they came in during a time of economic downturn. The bust that came after the boom was managed basically by them, and at the end of their tenure came COVID, right? There was, in my opinion, not much done by way of stimulating any diversity in the economy. I couldn't think of a single thing that really improved markedly under their stewardship from 2015 to 2020. But they won the last election. And I think they would have won the last election even if it wasn't for COVID. Right? Because people will say, oh, well, it's because they quote unquote, handled COVID properly up until the election that they won. I don't even think so. I think they would have won because all they did was manage to stay away from the pitfalls that squad, the last squad just watched shit and stepped straight in it. Because they didn't care. You know what I mean? But
I think it was political immaturity, but
it can't be all of them is them there forever, boy.
Yeah, but it's one thing to be on the sideline forever, is the next thing to play,
But remember, plenty of them were members of cabinet before that. They taste power before. The leader tasted power before. So it's not like if they were completely and they should have learned from because remember what brought down the last UNC administration. Corruption.
Airport scandal.
And corruption in general. The impression that they were extremely corrupt. And they came back into power, and what took them down again?
Consistency. That's what you're talking about.
You understand what I'm saying?
This is consistency.
So you're saying it hard. It wouldn't have been hard if they had come there and governed even with an iota of common sense. But they didn't have no intention of doing that. It was just come and do what you want, and we could just buy support here and push propaganda.
And I also think that is because in their mind, they were looking at the short race. They weren't looking at the long run.
Yeah.
So they were looking.
Well, then come out after. Then come out when you lost. Move. You know what I mean? Move. But they ain't doing that. They're still coming back and still hoping to be.
Well, because they want to do and come catch, grab on where you can grab up, and then three a net, see where you can grab, and then come out. You remember we were talking about that they going in, do shop business, make their money, and then come back out.
I don't understand it, but what you gonna do?